Your composure will be tested today. A sharp remark, an unfair demand, that instant flare of heat is your critical moment. This is where your inner fortress is built, brick by brick. I won't teach you to swallow anger or trade clever insults. I will teach you to transform that raw energy into unshakable calm. This is practical Stoicism, mental discipline forged into spoken words. These 6 responses, drawn from Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, are your tools. They are not attacks, but armor. They allow you to de-escalate, assert dignity, and anchor yourself in what you control. Master them, and you master the moment. Your peace becomes a choice, not a casualty. If you're ready to build that resilience, begin here. For more tools like this, subscribe, like, and share this guide. Your first comeback, the silent pause. Not the kind of nothing where you're so shocked you can't speak. Not the kind where you feel small and walk away. I'm talking about a different kind of nothing. A strong, steady, intentional silence. You take a full breath. You let their words hang in the air between you without grabbing at them. This is your first and most important comeback, the silent pause. Think of it like this. Imagine someone is trying to start a fight by throwing a ball at you hard. Your first instinct is to catch it, and now you're stuck holding this ball, and you have to throw it back. The fight has started. But what if, when they throw the ball, you just step to the side? You let the ball fly past you and bounce away. The thrower is left standing there, arms still in the air, with nothing to fight against. Your silence is that step to the side. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who had everyone from generals to senators trying to provoke him, wrote this secret note to himself. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. That calm mind is your superpower. In that silent pause, you are doing 3 quiet, brave things. First, you are letting their storm hit your wall. When someone is angry or mean, they are full of chaotic, hot energy. They want you to catch that chaos and get chaotic right back. Your silence is a cool, smooth wall. Their yelling and accusations hit it and just stop. The noise doesn't go into you, it fades away in the air. By not reacting, you don't give their anger any more fuel. You let it burn out on its own. Second, you are buying the most valuable thing in the world, a chance to choose. When we react immediately, we are not choosing. We are like a robot with a button someone just pushed. Insult detected. Deploy angry shout. That's being hijacked. Your pause is you switching from robot mode to commander mode. In those few seconds of quiet, you can ask yourself, what's really happening here? Is this actually about me, or are they having a bad day? What do I want the outcome of this talk to be? You are no longer a passenger in the conversation. You are the driver. Third, you are sending a message without saying a word. This message is I am in control of myself. It says you are not easily shaken. It shows that their words don't have the power to instantly command you. People expect a reaction, a splash of anger, a wave of hurt. When you are silent and calm, you become something much more impressive. You become the deep, still ocean. A splash can't disturb the ocean. So what does this actually look like? It's not just standing there staring blankly. It is an active silence. You might take a slow, quiet breath in through your nose. This is not just for drama. It literally calms your nervous system and gives your brain oxygen to think. You might give a simple, slow nod just to show you heard them. Not a nod that says, I agree, but a nod that says, message received. You hold their gaze gently, if it feels safe. You don't glare. You just don't look away in fear. Then, after your pause, which might feel like an eternity to you, but is only 3 or 4 seconds, you can speak. And because you chose the words, they will be better. You can say something simple and strong, like, I need a moment to think about what you just said. Or, let me sit with that for a second. Or, if you need to, I hear you. That's it. You don't argue with their point yet. You don't agree or disagree. You just state that you are a thinking person, and thinking people need a moment to process. By doing this, you have already won the most important part, the fight over your own mind. You kept your calm, you kept your power. You didn't let someone else's bad mood become your bad mood. The conversation that comes after this pause will be completely different, and you will be leading it from a place of strength, not a place of heat. Practice this the next time you feel that hot, tight feeling in your chest when someone speaks. Before a single word jumps out, build your fortress wall. Take the pause. Own the quiet. It is the foundation everything else is built on. Want to build more tools for unshakable calm? Help others find this peace. Subscribe, like, and share this guide. Your second comeback, the graceful redirect. Here's a secret about arguments. Most of the time, people aren't really mad at you. They're mad at a feeling, frustration, fear, helplessness, and you are just the closest person to yell at. Their words might be aimed at your idea or your work, but the fire behind those words is often burning somewhere else entirely. Your job in that moment is not to become a firefighter spraying water back. That just makes steam and burns everyone. Your job is to be a guide, gently turning everyone's attention away from the fire and towards the real problem that needs to be solved. This is the graceful redirect. It's not about winning a fight, it's about dissolving the fight before it even really starts. The Stoic philosopher Seneca understood this deeply. He wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than reality." Think about that. The person snapping at you is often frightened. They're imagining a disaster, that the project will fail, that they'll look bad, that they're not in control. Their anger is just the noise that their fear is making. If you argue with the noise, you'll never calm the fear. So how do you do this redirect? It's a simple two-step move. Acknowledge the emotion, then pivot to purpose. Step 1. Acknowledge the emotion, without agreeing with the attack. This is the graceful part. You are not saying, "You're right to yell at me." You are saying, "I can see that this is really matters to you." You are shining a light on their feeling, not their harsh words. Look at them calmly and say something like, "It sounds like this is really important to you," or "I can hear the frustration in your voice," or "It seems like we both want to get this right." What are you doing here? You are giving their chaotic emotion a name. It's like saying to a toddler having a tantrum, "You are really upset right now." For an adult, it has the same effect. It stops the escalation dead in its tracks. They were ready for a battle, and instead you offered a moment of recognition. It's disarming. And step 2, pivot to the shared goal. Once you've named the emotion, you quickly and firmly steer the ship. You redirect all that energy away from the personal conflict and towards the objective, practical problem you're both trying to solve. Immediately follow up with, "Let's focus on what we're actually trying to fix here." Or, "So our main goal is X, how can we get back to that?" Or, "What's the one thing we need to solve first to move forward?" This pivot is powerful because it's impossible to argue with. You're not attacking them back. You are simply pointing to the finish line you're both supposed to be running towards. It takes you from me versus you to us versus the problem. Let's walk through an example. Imagine someone says to you angrily, "This report you did is totally useless. It doesn't have any of the data I need." Your instinct might be to defend your work. It has all the data you asked for. Now you're in a tug of war over who's right. Instead, use the graceful redirect. First, acknowledge. You take a breath and say, "It sounds like you're worried we're missing some critical information to make a decision." See what you did there? You didn't agree the report is useless. You identified the fear behind the words, the worry about missing data. Then pivot. You immediately add, "Let's make sure we have what we need. Tell me specifically which data point is most important, and I'll find it, or we can figure out how to get it." You have now transformed a complaint into a collaboration. You are no longer the enemy, you are a partner solving a puzzle. You have taken their explosive energy and channeled it into productive action. This comeback makes you the calmest and most capable person in the room. It shows emotional intelligence. You can see past words to feelings, and it shows leadership. You can guide a heated moment back to a productive path. You are not being a pushover. You are being a strategist. You are choosing the smarter, more effective battlefield, and in so doing, you build your inner fortress not with walls against people, but with bridges towards solutions. Your third comeback, the ownership filter. Imagine someone hands you a big, messy bucket. Inside is a bunch of messy garbage, old banana peels, crumpled paper, dirt, but hidden in the bottom, there's also a single, shiny gold coin. What do? Do you get mad about the garbage and throw the whole bucket back at them? Or do you calmly pour it out, sift through the mess, pick out the valuable coin, and leave the rest behind? This is exactly what happens with criticism. People often deliver it in a messy, hurtful bucket. Their tone is angry, their words are unfair, or they blame you for things that aren't your fault. That's the garbage. But sometimes, not always, but sometimes mixed in with that garbage, there is a tiny piece of truth, a gold coin of useful feedback that can actually help you. The ownership filter is your tool for sifting. It is the discipline of asking yourself one simple question. What here, if anything, is mine to own and improve? You are not accepting the whole messy bucket. You are doing the secure, powerful work of finding the useful piece and taking responsibility for only that. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who had countless people criticizing him every day, built his inner fortress on this idea. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This comeback is the living proof of that strength. You cannot control how someone delivers feedback. That's an outside event. But you have absolute power over your mind to listen, to sort, to choose what you accept. Using this filter does two magnificent things. It makes you immune to insults, and it turns you into a person who is always, quietly, getting better. Here is how you use the filter, step by step. Step 1. Receive the whole bucket without drinking from it. When the criticism comes, use your silent pause. Don't interrupt, don't defend. Let them finish. In your mind, imagine placing their entire statement, the tone, the words, the blame, into an imaginary bucket in front of you. Your goal is not to believe it or get upset by it yet. Your goal is just to have it so you can look at it clearly. Step 2. Sift with your question. Now look at what's in the bucket. Ask your filter question. What here, if anything, is within my control? Is there a truth I can use? Is it about my actions? The report was late? That might be your coin. Is it about their feelings or opinions? You're always so lazy. That's usually garbage. Is it a fact I can verify? The numbers on page 3 are wrong. That could be a coin. Is it a vague attack? This whole thing is a disaster. That's garbage. Step 3. Own the coin. Discard the garbage. This is the brave part. If you find a gold coin, a specific, true, actionable piece of feedback, you pick it up with confidence. You own it, clearly and without drama. You say, "You're right, I missed that deadline. That's on me. Here's how I'll ensure it doesn't happen next time. Thank you for catching that error on page 3. I will correct it immediately." Notice what you did? You didn't say, "You're right, I'm lazy." You owned the specific action, the late report, the error, and immediately pivoted to a solution. This is breathtakingly powerful. It disarms the other person completely. They were ready for a fight, not an agreement, and it shows immense security and integrity. Then you let the rest, the anger, the insults, the overblown blame, fall away. You do not argue with it. You do not try to prove the garbage is garbage. You simply leave it on the ground. By not engaging with it, you show it has no power over you. This comeback proves your inner fortress is secure. Only someone who is truly strong can hear harsh words, calmly find a useful nugget, and thank someone for it. It shows you are not ruled by your ego, which wants to be right. You are ruled by your purpose, which is to be better. You stop being a defendant in the courtroom of their opinion and become a scientist in the lab of your own improvement. That is how you turn every piece of criticism, no matter how poorly delivered, into fuel for your growth. Your fourth comeback, the perspective anchor. Think about the last time you were really upset. Maybe it was an argument or some bad news. In that moment, the problem felt enormous. It felt like it was going to ruin everything forever. It filled up your whole world. Now think about that same problem a month later or a year later. Chances are it shrank a lot. It didn't ruin everything. It was just a hard moment that you moved through. This is the trick our minds play on us. When we are in the middle of a storm, we forget there is a sky above it. Our emotions act like a magnifying glass, making one small, scary thing look like a giant monster. Our job is to remember the real size of things. We do that with the perspective anchor. An anchor is what keeps a ship from being swept away by the current. When a wave of anger or panic hits you, this comeback is your anchor. It drops down through the stormy water and hooks on to solid ground, the ground of truth and time. It stops you from being carried off into a sea of emotion. The Stoic philosopher Seneca spent a lot of time thinking about why we suffer. He wrote something brilliant. Most of what upsets us are not present troubles, but past memories or future anxieties. Let's break that down. Right now, in this exact second, are you in physical danger? Is something actually hurting you? Probably not. Most of our pain comes from two other places. One, the past. We're replaying an old hurt or mistake. Two, the future. We're imagining all the terrible things that might happen because of this. We get upset about a rude comment because we imagine it means they don't respect us, future anxiety, or it reminds us of other times we felt disrespected, past memory. The anchor brings us back to the present reality. So how do you throw this anchor? You use simple, clear words that shrink the problem back to its true size. First, you can use a time anchor. This is a simple question you ask out loud, either to the other person or just to yourself. Will this matter in a week? Or, for bigger things, will we even remember this in a year? Just asking this question forces everyone's brain to do a little time travel. It pulls the camera back. The embarrassing mistake in today's meeting feels huge now, but will it matter next Thursday when the project is done? Almost certainly not. Asking this isn't being dismissive, it's being wise. It redirects energy from panicking about the moment to focusing on what truly lasts. Second, you can use a truth anchor. This is a calm statement of fact about the situation. This is a temporary problem, not a permanent state. Right now, we are safe and we can figure this out. This is one setback, not the end of the story. These statements are like a gentle hand on your own shoulder. They remind you that feelings are not facts. Just because you feel like everything is ruined doesn't mean it is. A temporary problem can be solved. A permanent state feels hopeless. By naming it as temporary, you open the door to finding a solution. Let's see it in action. Imagine your teammate is freaking out because a client is angry. They're saying, "This is a disaster. We're going to lose the account. Our reputation is ruined." You feel that panic starting to rise in your own chest. Instead of joining in, you drop your perspective anchor. You might say calmly, "I know it feels huge right now. Let's anchor down. This is one angry email, not a lost account yet. It's a temporary problem. What's the one thing we can do in the next hour to start fixing it?" You haven't ignored their fear. You've acknowledged it. "I know it feels huge." Then you immediately anchored it in truth, one angry email, and time, a temporary problem. Finally, you pivoted to action. What can we do in the next hour? This comeback makes you the steady one. In a world that is constantly trying to make small things seem like emergencies, you become the person who knows the difference. You don't get swept up in the storm. You become the anchor that holds the whole ship steady, and people will naturally look to you when things feel out of control. Your inner fortress isn't just about protecting you, it becomes a calm harbor for others too. Your fifth comeback, the boundary setter. There is a big misunderstanding about being kind and calm. Some people think it means you have to accept everything, that you have to let people talk to you any way they want, demand anything from you, or treat you poorly, all while you just smile and take it. That is not peace. That is being a doormat, and a doormat's only purpose is to be walked on. Real strength, Stoic strength, is different. It is kind, but it is not weak. It is calm, but it has clear lines that cannot be crossed. Your peace of mind is a treasure, and just like you would put a lock on a treasure chest, you must put boundaries around your peace. The boundary setter is you putting on the lock, calmly and firmly. This comeback is for when someone's words or actions are directly attacking your peace. It's not for every minor annoyance. It's for when the disrespect is clear, when the demands are unfair, or when the tone becomes toxic. In these moments, you are not punishing the other person. You are protecting the most important thing you have, your own inner world. Marcus Aurelius had to rule an empire with thousands of people making demands of him. His journal is full of reminders about guarding his own mind. His goal wasn't to control Rome, it was to control his reaction to Rome. He wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Setting a boundary is your chosen reaction. It is you saying, "What is happening is trying to steal my peace. My reaction will be to protect it." Here is how to set a boundary that is strong but not mean. Step 1. Name the behavior, not the person. Don't say, "You are so rude." That attacks their character and starts a fight. Do say, "This conversation is becoming disrespectful," or "That kind of language isn't okay with me." This focuses on the specific action that is crossing the line. It's much harder to argue with. Step 2. State your limit clearly. This is the setter part. You say exactly
what you need. I want to help, but I can't have a productive talk in this tone. I'm happy to discuss this when we can speak calmly. I cannot do that task without the information I asked for. Notice the words. You are using I statements. I cannot, I need. This is about your limits, not about judging them. It is impossible for someone to tell you that your own feeling is wrong. Step 3. Offer a way forward. This is the graceful part that keeps it from sounding like an attack. You show that you're not rejecting them, just the bad. Your 6th comeback, the release. This is your most advanced move. It is not a comeback you say to someone. It is a decision you make for yourself. It is the conscious, deliberate choice to walk away. Not in anger, not in defeat, but in profound peace. This is the release. Some battles are not worth fighting. Some conversations are traps with no exit. Trying to win them only costs you your energy and your peace. The Stoic secret is knowing the difference between a battle that strengthens you and a trap that drains you. The core of Stoicism is a simple idea called the dichotomy of control. It means some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. Fighting to control what isn't yours is a recipe for endless frustration. The release is the ultimate application of this wisdom. You look at a chaotic, unhealthy situation and you ask, what here is truly within my control? You cannot control their anger. You cannot force them to understand. You cannot make them be reasonable. Your only real choice is how long you stay in the storm. Seneca, who faced constant political drama, wrote, "How much better to heal than seek revenge." Sometimes, healing means removing yourself from the source of the infection. Walking away is not surrender. It is a strategic retreat to protect your most valuable asset, your well-being. How to execute the release. It is a quiet, two-step process. Step 1. The internal decision. You must decide, inside yourself, that this fight is a trap. You are not leaving because you lost. You are leaving because you have better, more important places to invest your life's energy. You say to yourself, this is not a hill worth dying on. My peace is more valuable than winning this argument. This internal shift is everything. It turns walking away from a loss into a victory for your sanity. Step 2. The clear, final statement. You don't just storm off. You calmly state your decision. Your tone should be final, like closing a book. I don't see this conversation moving us toward a solution we both want. I'm going to step away from it. We clearly see this differently, and that's okay. I don't think more discussion will change that, so I'll bow out. I've said what I needed to say. I'm going to leave this here. Then, you leave. You do not wait for a retort. You do not look back for a reaction. You have declared the conversation over, and you act as if it is over. Why this is so powerful? When you release a battle you cannot win, you win a far greater war, the war for your own time and attention. You reclaim your energy. You starve the drama of the oxygen it needs, your continued engagement. You demonstrate, to yourself and others, that you are not easily hooked. Your self-worth is not tied to having the last word. This is the master key to your inner fortress. It means no one can trap you in a conflict. You hold the key to the gate, and you can always choose to walk out, your dignity and wisdom completely intact. You become untouchable, not because you are hard, but because you are too wise to play a game designed for you to lose. You choose your battles, and in doing so, you choose your peace. Your fortress is built one stone at a time. You didn't come here for empty motivation. You came for a blueprint, a way to turn moments of pressure into demonstrations of your strength. That blueprint is now in your hands. These 6 tools are more than words. They are disciplines. They are choices. Each time you use one, you lay another stone in the wall of your inner fortress. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen, one silent pause, one graceful redirect, one clear boundary at a time. The world will keep testing the walls. That's its job. Your job is to stand calmly within them, unshakable, because you built them yourself. Start building today. Pick your first stone. Before you go, I need to know, which of these 6 comebacks resonated with you the most? Which one will you carry into your week? Tell me in the comments below. Your choice helps guide what we build together next. If this guide has been your blueprint, pay that clarity forward. Please like, subscribe, and share this with just one person who needs to build their own fortress of calm. Your support turns wisdom into a shared shelter. Now, go build. Your peace is waiting.